To make your embroidered pendant, start by ironing a piece of interfacing onto your felt and then place the fabric into your embroidery hoop with the felt side up. Mark out the shape of a bezel setting that you're going to use onto the fabric. For me, this was a 2 cm by 2 cm square. I wanted there to be a thin black border around the edge when the embroidery was complete, so I used plain thread to do a tacking stitch around the edge of my work area, which was 17mm by 17mm. Once I'd tacked this border, I used a gel pen to quickly mark out where my different elements would go so I could stitch over them. I wanted to create an image inspired by Van Gogh's Starry Night, so I drew out where I wanted the moon to be, as well as the various swirls in the sky, etc. Next, start stitching your image. I started with the main elements, which in my design was the moon. I recommend watching series or something else while doing this, as it's very repetitive, but it can also be very relaxing. If you don't know how to embroider, just do a backstitch over and over, kind of just like colouring in. I promise it is enjoyable. Keep stitching and then fill in any gaps between main elements. Don't be afraid to change thread colours. Using more colours really adds dimension to an embroidery and makes the individual threads stand out way more than they would if you'd only use one colour. Trim each thread as you finish working with each colour. Once your embroidery is complete, make sure you've knotted and trimmed all your threads. Carefully pull out the tacking threads that marked out the border. Iron the embroidery, as the stitching will cause the fabric to pull, and ironing it flat will make the embroidery lie better in your pendant. Flip the embroidery over so that the back is facing up, and then mark out the shape and size of the bezel pendant setting with the embroidery area centered. Because you stitched through the fabric, the exact embroidered area will be visible on the back too. Very carefully cut out the embroidered area, ensuring that your border is even on all sides. Check that it fits into the pendant. Take the bezel pendant setting and smear some craft glue in the base. Coat the base, but don't work the glue all the way up to the edges, or it will inevitably squish out and ruin everything, because that's what glue does. Leave the glue for a minute or two to get tacky, and then carefully place the embroidery into the bezel setting, making sure that it's facing the right way up. Leave the pendant to dry as long as your glue specifies, but overnight is usually a good guess for most glues to avoid the risk of messing it up. Decide how long you want the chain to be by just holding it around your neck, and then cut the chain and thread it through the hole at the top of the pendant. At the end of the chain, attach the 2 pieces of your clasp using jump rings. When opening your jump rings, use 2 pairs of pliers and turn the sides away from each other rather than opening them up by simply pulling the ring open, as this can distort and damage the ring. After you've attached your clasp, your necklace is complete.